When you see a woman that is from Ethiopia, don't a bell go off? Ding! She's from Ethiopia. But you don't, of course, you don't just walk up to her. You're Ethiopian, aren't you? No, you'll be polite and ask because, you don't want to be guilty of that all y'all look alike crap. But 9 times out of 10, when you ask, they'll smile, say yes, how did you know? Because they look pretty much alike. They have the same facial features. They may be different sizes, heights, weights, widths, but the facial features, all those traits are generally the same. But then you look at black Americans and how we all look like somebody, but we don't look like each other. I know some guys look like Joe Frazier. I look like Lionel Richie. I also look like the Holla Holla guy of Dave Chappelle. Holla holla holla, holla holla holla, holla 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 holla, holla holla holla, holla holla holla, holla holla holla. Let me holler at you, 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 let me holler at you. Holla holla holla, holla holla holla, holla holla holla, holla holla, holla holla holla. We all three share that circle. So, but we don't look like Prince. But you got people that look like Prince here and there and there and here. So how does that happen? DNA does not change just like that. 500 years of intermixing with another nationality, and all of a sudden all of your physical attributes just change to something that does not look like the original land where you're from. Like if you get 1,000 women from Ethiopia, you bring them to Chicago, they start intermixing with all the people from Chicago, and 500 years later, none of they doggone children look like they from Ethiopia. DNA don't work like that, people. I'm sorry. If I'm busting anybody's bubble, oh well. DNA does not work like that. Don't believe me? Look back at your family. Get a photo of your great times 4 or 5 grandparents and relatives if you can go back that far. And I bet you'll see somebody that look like you. Well, somebody you look like because they were first.
Hello, I'm William Attlee and this is a news brief with truth. See the men on the screen. They are the ancestors of the African American, but there is a problem. Their true identity. Thomas McNeely has the story.
Well, William, the African American community is deeply divided due to the tagline, African Americans ain't Africans, which can be found in numerous places on the web. Now, it should be obvious as to why it's causing a commotion, but if it escapes you, let me explain. The current American education states African Americans were brought to America as slaves from Africa, which is simply not true. They are American indigenous, not descendants of Africans. As they say, the truth is stranger than fiction. Although this fact isn't spoken of openly, it's not a secret. However, with programming such as Roots, 12 Years a Slave, The African American Story, and The Book of Negroes, is it any wonder why so many African Americans are confused? We won't address all the misleading DNA tests being provided to connect African Americans to Africa.
That pretty much ends this this videotape. But like I said, this African American thing, one of the biggest lies ever told in history. You are a black American, you are from here. And that's all to it. All that other stuff, the bond with my African brother, for you all that believe that and you want to play dress up, hey, do what you do. Don't use your brain. See, I use my head for more than a hat rack. But, not trying to diss nobody, but it is what it is. So,